Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm looking at Chopin's Prelude Opus 28, number 6 in B minor. So if I start with the left hand, because the left hand has most of the melody here. So we've got a B minor chord, and then we put 2 over. So B minor, 2, 3, and 4, swap to 1. And then we do B minor again, but it's spread out slightly differently. So 5, 2, 1, 4, 2, 4, swap to 1. Now here I would probably just let go because I'm going to be using the pedal anyway. 1, 2, 3, and then we have G major. So da 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 da. And then these are our crotchets, so we'll talk about the rhythm in a second. And then C sharp, and then quickly. And then 5, and then squash and put thumb on B, and then up the chromatic. So if I go for the rhythm, caterpillar, so from the beginning this is caterpillar, pin, and on dotted note and staple, caterpillar, pin, and on dotted note and staple, caterpillar, pin, pin, repeat the note, pin, staple, 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 pin. So that's that section. So you've got the notes of the rhythm now, and then we do something similar. Here's our little lead-in to return to the first melody, B minor, 4, swap to 1. And that's slightly different, so you might want to highlight that B there because the B is the surprise. Now we do G major. So remember last time we did B minor, then G major. This time we do B minor once and now into G major. And slightly different ordering of G major because we finish on D. And then 2 over. Then thumb under, so we're in C major now. So there's our do, so do. Now, actually, it says on my music 5 swap to 1. It's not a big deal. If you go here, because you're going to use the pedal, you can just jump down, and it's the end of the phrase. So I wouldn't worry about swapping on that note. But now we have C major spread out a bit further. So here's middle C, where 2 octaves below it. 5, 2, 1, 3, 1. And we do that again. 5, 2, 1, 3, 1. So look how far it's spread out. It's spread out over all those notes there. C, G, E, G, E. So it's quite a big stretch. Now the left hand has a melody all of its own. Well, it had a melody all of its own, so this is a new idea. 1, 2, 1. Actually, the music here says 3, but I'd start on 1. And the reason I'd start on 1 is then for both bars, we do exactly the same fingering. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 1, and then make very sure that we connect this nicely. So if the 4th finger's there, we're going to bring the thumb under so our fingers do the legato, not just relying on the pedal. So thumb under, 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, and then that's a minim, and then there's another minim, and then, oh, maybe this is why they did 3. So 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So it's the same idea, but because we came from the G, we have to start on 3. So I guess if you wanted to start the first one on 3, that would also make sense. And then thumb under, and then swap to something so that you can go down to the B. Now, just before we do the last little bit, let me count the rhythm. We're using rhythm words. So dotted note and caterpillar, dotted note and caterpillar, caterpillar, minimum, minimum, pin, dotted note and caterpillar, dotted note and caterpillar, caterpillar, minimum, 1, 2, 3, and then it's tied. So the next caterpillar actually starts with the remains of that note. Okay, so that's the rhythm for that bit. And then we've got this last little coda bit. So we jump up to B minor again. That note formed the beginning. But if you're just practicing this little bit by itself, I just breathe in through my nose for the cat. Caterpillar. or caterpillar. So the cat is dealt with before, but you don't want to not think of it when you're practicing hands separately. So caterpillar, pin, and ton swap this finger, which is exactly what you started with at the beginning. So it's just exactly repeating note for note what happened at the beginning, with the only difference being that at the beginning you caterpillar like that. This time you're dropping the D because you had that extra tied note from the bar before. Okay, so that's the left hand. Now let's look at the right hand. Now the chords get a bit funky in here. So we start with a B minor chord. It says sotto voce, so that's in an undertone. So this right hand, being the chords, is going to be the thing that is softer and submissive to the left hand, which has the melody. So most of our shaping and thought needs to go into what the left hand's doing. So here we've got B minor chord, and then we hold the bottom two notes and play the top note again. And now we just do it with two notes. Hold the bottom note, play the top note again, hold the bottom note, play the top note again. B minor again, by himself, B minor by himself. There's one more. Now the left hand's come up higher now, so we need to move our B minor up to B and D here. And again, just that, play the top note again, but make sure you're holding the bottom note. Then B minor in this shape with F sharp on the bottom. Now G major in its root position form, and play the top note again. And now just the top two notes. Now this looks like a G sharp diminished. So B sharp, a G sharp, B and D. And it only happens once, and then with the by himself note. And then we're going to change the top note to C, but the same bottom two, G sharp and B. Oops, C sharp, sorry. So D, C sharp. Now from here we're going to change these bottom two. The G sharp and D are going to change to G and A sharp, which is just like our B minor chord, isn't it? So we form a diminished now. There is G, B flat, C sharp, or G, A sharp, C sharp. And then we're going to change the top note. So we can just go up 2, 4, 3, 5, but we're still holding the G. Now, at this moment, we're going to get a little bit of the melody which came later in the left hand, hidden in the top note. So this bar, which bar? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bar 7. The trick is going to be keeping the bottom fingers quiet and bringing out the top finger, which has this very temperate. I think it's the only point in there where it does take the melody. So the first, I'll go through the notes, then we'll think about the musicality. So we've got E's on the top for our melody with the pinky, and the bottom at G and A sharp. And then we're going to leave the G. We're going to change the A sharp to B. And then we're going to go back to the first note. Okay, so, and notice the E is staying. The next note is F sharp, C sharp, F sharp. Now for this note, if you can't stretch that, just do the top two. But ideally all three. It gives a nice richness to the chord. Now we're going to move our hand, so our F sharp stays the same. The F sharp's going to stay for 3 notes. We had our G for 3 notes. Now we're going to have an F sharp for 3 notes. So top note, and then bring those top 2 notes down to B and E. And then we're going to use 5. So D, C sharp, still with that D. D, C sharp like that. And then B. And then we've got, looks horrible because it's got a double sharp in the middle. So let's start by not thinking about the double sharp. We've got C, F, A. Now we know we've got C sharp and A sharp, and then F goes double sharp, so sharp, sharp, and that's our chord. It looks like C sharp, G, and B flat, but C sharp, F double sharp, A sharp. Now every finger goes up 1 semitone. So C sharp's going to go to D, G is going to go to G sharp, B flat's going to B. So hopefully you can see, you can practice that movement a few times. It's just going up a semitone. And now we're going to change only the top notes to B and D. And now we change all the notes. I've got C sharp, A sharp, C sharp. It says A sharp because there was an A sharp earlier in the bar. So let's just look at those 2 bars again. So I think it was 7 and 8. So now we're thinking of the top note melody. might be wondering why I did no pedal. That's because we want to make sure the finger is clean and the fingers are correct. Once we put in the pedal, we might be doing this and not realize. So we want to make it as connected as we can and bring out that top note. And really focus on what's that top finger doing. One way I do it, and I've mentioned if you see my other videos, is we lean into that top finger. So imagine your hand is sort of tilted. Whoops. So really leaning the hand weight. Okay, so then we go back and it looks quite similar to the beginning to start with. So the B minor chord here, and with that top note while holding the bottom note, and the B minor chord again for another bar. And then we have the G chord, G major chord, so D, G, B, and then change the top note, which is, oh, it's not quite the same, because the left hand doesn't quite do the same thing the first time G major comes up either. Now we've got C major, so we've got two notes first with the top note repeated, and then we've got the full chord E, G, C with that top note repeated and the bottom holding. Now we let go of the E, we have to because the left hand's going to take it, and then back to the 3-note chord and then the 2-note chord. Now this version suggests putting 5 on the B. It's not a big deal because you have to jump anyway. Okay, so now we've got C sharp, G and A sharp, which we've done that chord before. It looks like C sharp, G, B flat. It's actually part of the diminished chord on C sharp. So let's play that, and we're going to repeat the top note. And now we're going to change the middle note. So the G is going to go to F sharp to make it F sharp major, and then back to B minor. So I'll do that bar again. I'm trying to think what the bar number is, but I'm not sure. So we've got C sharp, G, A sharp. Change the middle note. Now we change the outside note. So the bottom note comes up, the pinky comes up. I'd practice that bar a few times just to get your fingers around those chords. Now we've got C sharp, G, B. So that C sharp and G are going to stay, and we're going to change the top note. And then we're going to change to a G chord. Okay, so I'll do that bar again. So C sharp, G, B. And the next bar, maybe it will count. So that was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, so up to bar 17, so G, and then I've got C sharp, F sharp, still B on top, so the B stays, and then we're going to change the top 2 notes down to E and A sharp, so the G, and then C sharp, and then change the top 2 notes, and then we're up to the next bar. I've already forgot what number I said the previous one was, so C sharp, E, B flat. And now it may or may not be too big to stretch, but it's B, D, B. If you can't stretch it, just do the top notes and don't worry about the inside, the thumb B. And then the last chord of that bar is G chord. So I'm going back. Why don't I go back to that bar? Let me remember what it is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 15. So let me go back to bar 15 so I can just play that whole right hand. And then we do that chord again. And now on this music, it's the last line. We've got similar to what we did before. The first note is different. So C sharp, G, B, which was the same as, what did we say? It was 8, 16, 17. So it's similar to bar 18 twice this time. And then B minor, and again, that's same as bar 18 again. And this is not quite the same as, what did you say, 17, 18, 19? So not quite the same as 19 because we've got G in the middle. That's the same, but now we leave the F sharps. The only thing we change is the top note. So you might want to highlight that F sharp in that bar before you go back to B minor, D major, and then, oh sorry, I did that wrong. I can't do that because the left hand will get in the way. Make sure you use your nice scratching fingers. Rest and, okay, now I'll demonstrate it hands together.